Good afternoon, investor and corporate. Welcome to Set Digital Roadshow First Quarter 2022 Performance Review. This session will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. Company will start the session by 30-minute presentation, followed by 15-minute Q&A. During Q&A, investor may leave your question in meeting room chat box or you raise your hand function. We will open your microphone so you can ask the question to the company directly. May I now invite PTG Energy Public Company Limited to start the presentation. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, all investors. Welcome to PTG. Right now you are with me, Savitri Tantra Ampai, and IR team, and also Kun Paramet, Samuan Chokwanit.
Hi, good afternoon all.
Okay, so I will cover the business overview part and also industry, and Kun Paramet will cover ESG and financial part. Okay, let's get started with the highlights. Okay, for the first Q, the marketing margin increased around 34% Q over Q, and currently still maintain better than the fourth quarter last year. We ranked second in terms of the market share in oil sales, oil market share, while we ranked first in LPG auto for its market share. We just soft launched the PT Max Park Salaya, which actually combine a full service station with the community mall to serve convenience lifestyle. Fifth one, we expand Pantai locations into central business districts. We will see more of Pantai outside PT station. We opened in Silom and also Chongnunsi branches. We will show you for the next slide for the picture. On the left hand side, you will see PT Max Park located on the Boromaraj Choneni Road, and on the right hand side, it's Pantai Coffee store in Silom and Chongnunsi store. Okay, let's take a look at industry outlook for first Q. For first Q, the oil channel consumption increase Q over Q and year over year. You will see that it's slightly increased. For first Q, ended at about close to 8.8 million liters, and the majority of the products sold still diesel. If you look to year-over-year increase about 2% year-over-year here, the diesel increase a lot more than more gas. Diesel increase about 5%, but the more gas decline actually declined about 6% here. That may impact from the higher price in benzene. For the right hand side, you will see retail consumption still increase. Actually, very similar to the oil channel. Diesel still the main product that increased in first Q compared to quarter on quarter and year over year. Currently, for year to date, from January until April, we see a lot higher for diesel consumption, about 9% growth, very significant increase for diesel for year to date currently. And also retail is the same. Diesel still the majority increase for the oil consumption. Okay, here for LPG consumption, you will see that the majority products sold to household, about 60% sales for proportion. When you look at first Q compare Q over Q and year over year, a little bit decrease, but currently we see a lot of increase in LPG when compared year over year. Currently, during April and May, that's maybe because of last year we got a lot of impact from alpha wave last year, and currently the COVID situation eases right now, and we see a lot of tourists coming in, and also we see a lot of activities domestically. So LPG auto still increase. If we look current situation now. Okay. So okay, so now we will talk about PTG business overview here. Okay, in terms of volume by channel here, see a lot, see the decrease about 5.5% year over year and 1.8% Q over Q. That's the impact from the higher price and also the demand decrease during higher oil price as well. So, but if we look current situation in April and also May, we see a lot of increase in terms of products sold. We forecast that for second quarter compared to first quarter and also second quarter last year, we see a lot of improvement. We forecast that it will go in line with what we expect, probably about 6 to 7% increase when we compare second quarter Q over Q and year over year. The product growth, when we look at the right-hand side, we see a lot of increase currently. We see diesel increase and also more gas increase for second quarter. When we look at first quarter here, we see diesel still increase as you know the price still capped at that time about 30 to 32 baht per liter. Okay. Okay, in terms of LPG, still increase, and the majority, the major increase was from household that we just opened this channel last year for the full capacity for last year. So in terms of LPG, we see about 70% year over year increase and also 3.4% Q over Q. Under in the bottom left, you see that the majority is still auto LPG, but what we expect by this year, we plan to expand the household LPG to be about 40% proportion for LPG products sold. Okay. So in terms of when we look at soy market share on the left-hand side, you will see that we have about 14.9% market share in fourth quarter and first quarter this year, 14.5%. Actually, we see a lot of increase in March and also April too. The market share expand to about 14.7, 14.8% for April market share. And we forecast that in retail, we currently about 17% for right now for the market share in terms of retail market share. Yeah. And in March, actually, we see a lot of increase for the market share, and we actually outperformed the industry in March. Okay. Let's look at LPG market share. For all channel market share, when we combine the household LPG and also industrial channel, we actually at about 6.5% increase from in fourth quarter last year at 6.1%. But when we look at auto LPG only, we actually rank first, as mentioned earlier. Currently, we have about 23.8% market share for LPG, for auto LPG. And we believe that, after everything come back, more tourists, more foreigners, LPG, auto LPG will still, increase again. And we still have room for household LPG that we just entered this channel last year. Okay, let's take a look at the outlet for oil and LPG. Currently, we have 2,181 stations, and the majority of the model still company-owned, company-operated model. And you will see on the left bottom side, the LPG standalone about 81 locations. And for mix combined between LPG and also oil station, about 142 locations. We plan to expand close to 100 this year for both oil and LPG. We believe that we're still on track right now. On the right-hand side, you will see that there's a distribution throughout the country. The majority of the distribution is still located in northeastern side and also north region, accounted about 50%. We plan to add more on the city and also add more on the high traffic area, both in Bangkok vicinity areas and also high city areas. If we reach 1,005 locations for the non-oil business, we have Max Mart, 277 Max Mart, also 358 locations for Pan Thai, and still keep increasing for Pan Thai location. We have 34 Coffee World. We have 193 locations for gas shop, which located inside PT oil station. We have 34 auto bags, which will increase close to add another 20 this year. So we will close to 50 locations auto bags. And also Max Niton Loop Change, we have 40 locations. We have 52 Max Camp, which is rest area for traveler throughout the main road in the country. We have 17 EV station, which will be about 35 locations by the end of this quarter. Okay, next for the non-oil business, we talk about the top line for the non-oil part. We start with the Pan Thai coffee. So we still have, we still see a lot of improvement for Pan Thai coffee, and this year will be, remarkable year for Pan Thai. We see, in the first quarter we have 61% year-over-year growth and about 7% Q-over-Q. So currently, the Pan Thai coffee still outperform, and also auto bags of 41% year-over-year growth and also about 2.2 Q-over-Q. We still expand the auto bags locations to serve our customers throughout the country. Okay, next we have Max Mart, the convenience stores that we operate ourselves. For year-over-year, we growth 18% year-over-year, Q-over-Q minus 4.8%. That's actually in line with the sales volume for stations. But we believe that, after we set the same price with other peers, the sales will come back as we see right now. For Coffee World, we have minus 39.5% year-over-year, minus 13% Q-over-Q. Actually, we closed down, temporarily closed their stations, and also we just starting to open and rebrand the Coffee World location too. We actually opened Coffee World for the new model in airport. Okay, for other business that includes, logistics business, lubricant business, and also other products. Currently, we have 254 million baht, about 43% year-over-year growth, and minus 9% Q-over-Q. We still, expand the other business because, we also have revenue from expanding lubricant, that our own brand Maxitron, and also for Palm Complex, we invested about 24% shares in Palm Complex and 40% shares in Palm Complex. Currently, minus 66% year-over-year, and also decreased 36% Q-over-Q. That because, first, the demand in the biodiesel that aligned with the regulation that increased from 7% to 5%. And also, and also the price gap in the cost of goods sold for CPO is quite high when we compare from last year. Okay, for the target this year, the network for oil, 2,010 locations, the non-oil, 1,572 locations, which split to LPG and mixed station, 252 locations, F&B, CVS, Maxmart, and also other service, 1,320 locations. We forecast that the oil and LPG sales volume, oil will increase about 6 to 10% this year compared to last year. LPG is still, increase about 50 to 60% this year. We forecast that EBITDA will increase about 15 to 20% year-over-year. Also, the sales growth under non-oil business will increase 80 to 90% compared to last year. And the last one, the gross portion that we expect, we want to increase to 15 to 20% portion for the non-oil part. Okay, for CapEx budget, we still maintain the CapEx budget at 3 to 4 billion baht. So to be, for business under oil business about 1.5 to 2 billion baht. And the non-oil part will be 1 to 1.5 billion. And new business is about 500 million baht. That's the total CapEx for 2022. Okay, Khun Poramet will take over ESG part.
Okay, for the next part. As the company has the vision to connect everyone to the opportunity of well-being and contentedness in every stage of life. That's why in the first quarter of this year, we conducted many CSR activities under PT volunteer camp to support the community and also the society. We can see that the first one, we supported an educational opportunities by giving 40 scholarships to students. This includes the teaching equipments and also sport equipments and also first aid boxes and the vegetable gardens. And for the second activity, we promoted health and wellness of people in the community by measuring eyesight. This occurred in the upcountry for 300 elderly people, and also provide knowledge about the eyes to them as well. And for the CSV of creating shared value, as we always do, we always promote the local ingredients from many farmers. So in this quarter, we joined with the Ministry of Commerce by the Department of Internal Trade. We purchased products from farmers, not only to help them from suffering from the low product prices, but also to reduce the cost of living of Thai people as well. That's why we subsidized mangoes, onions, shallots, garlics from the farmers, agricultural, and get it as a rewards to the PT Mexican members. And as we know that the palm oil, bottled palm oil, the price always keep increasing. That's why we provided 1 million of bottled palm oil under the brand Misu. We sell at a special price to the member as well. For the financial performance, Start with the revenue. In this quarter, the revenue was 38,969 million baht, increased 20.8% year over year, and also increased 3.6% from last quarter. The increase mainly from the higher retail price, up 26.6% from last year and also 5.6% from last quarter. And also the revenue from the non-oil business was 1,802 million baht. We have a growth of 44.1% year over year and also 0.3% Q over Q. The majority was from LPG, CVS, and also F&B business. Mainly from the increase in the stores that Khun Savitri already mentioned, the expansion of Pantai and also LPG as well. So for the first quarter, non-oil revenue accounted for 4.6% compared to oil at 95.4%. For the gross profit, for the first quarter, we produced 2,575 million baht, decreased 8.9% from last year, and also increased 24.1% from last quarter. As we know that we got the cap in the diesel price, as Khun Savitri already mentioned as well, during the Jan to Feb this year. That's why the gross profit we reduced from last year. However, the price adjustment that we use, the strategy, make the company pick up from the last quarter. That's why we end up with the higher marketing margin in this quarter and also the higher gross profit margin in this quarter as well. For this quarter, for the non-oil gross profit, continued to grow by 19% year over year, mainly from LPG and Pantai stores expansion. In this quarter, for the gross profit mix from non-oil business, end up with the 17.1%, 4.1% from F&B, 8.2% from LPG, and 4.8% from CVS for the mass market. For the EBITDA, you can see that the picture is quite the same as gross profit. Worse than previous year, but getting better from previous quarter. And so the same reason about the price cap of diesel. However, this also the decline also include the share profit of palm complex as well, that decreased. And for the net profit for this quarter, we end up with 163 million baht, decreased 69% from last year and increased almost around three times from previous quarter. This is the turnaround situation for the company. Last quarter, we produced a negative net profit, but this year we have a turnaround position, end up with a positive one. For the statement of financial position, at the end of the first quarter, you will see the number is quite the same to the end of previous quarter. We end up with the 44,732 million baht. However, there are some part that have a little increase. For example, for the assets, trade receivables increased from the higher corporate customer. We got a higher number of the customers from the corporate one. And also the PP&E, property, plant and equipment, increased from the expansion and also the renovation of the oil station. For the liabilities one, the increase mainly from two parts. The short-term borrowing. Short-term borrowing was to support the rising in oil cost. And the second one is the lease liabilities, increase from the expansion of the stations and also the non-oil business as Pantai that I mentioned earlier. For the profitability ratio, it's same as net profit margin. So decrease from last year, but increase from previous quarter. It's like now we're heading up. Our profit is getting better, and we expect to have a normal level of the marketing margin around 1.7 to 1.8 baht per liter. For the leverage ratio, it increased a little bit from end of previous quarter from the short-term loans for accommodating the higher in oil cost. But we can see that the IBD in interest-bearing debt to equity for the covenant actually only 1.2 times, which is quite low. So, and we always keep monitoring and manage it with effectively to reduce the financial cost. And for the operating cycle, this we always produce the negative cash cycle, which is good because like the average payment period is 11.3 days, while the day inventory and also the collection periods combining only 6.7 days. That's why we have a negative one. And for the cash flow, we expand a lot in this quarter, and so that's why the majority of cash we invest in the CFI, cash flow from investing activities. It always still keep in line with the capex budget for the company. And I think that's all for the presentation today. Now it's time for your Q&A session.
The session has come to the end. Thank you very much, investor and corporate, for joining the conference. If you do need further detail, please feel free to drop us an email. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณครับ
ขอบคุณครับ Thank you